To meet the rigorous physical demands of modern-day policing, the Physical Readiness Evaluation for Police, or PREP, was developed. Over a 2-year period, the Ontario Ministry of the Solicitor General and Correctional Services led a team of experts in the areas of policing, industrial fitness testing, and equal opportunity employment to develop the PREP. Standards of acceptability and validation for the PREP were based on a comprehensive job analysis. As part of this analysis, a large number of experienced and diverse police officers identified those physically demanding tasks of policing in which the safety of the officers or the public would be threatened by ineffective performance. The physical demands of these tasks formed the basis for the PREP. Veteran police officers have confirmed and have given high ratings to the PREP as an excellent simulation of the physically demanding on-the-job tasks of the frontline police constable.
Policing takes place in a complex world.
The physical nature of the job can vary from day to day.
Volatile situations.
It's a job where physical fitness is very important because you're chasing down criminals.
Quick reactions.
You can go from what seemed like a situation that's under control, before you know it, you're doing warp 10.
Fast thinking.
You have to be able to respond.
Policing demands many skills, both mental and physical.
If the officers today are not physically able to perform the functions, it will affect the duties and certainly their performance.
For the officers in general patrol, they absolutely have to be in good shape.
I wouldn't be comfortable out on the road without being confident in my own physical strength and my abilities.
To measure the fitness level of police constable applicants, the Physical Readiness Evaluation for Police, or PREP, was developed. It is part of the Constable Selection System, endorsed by the Ontario Association of Chiefs of Police.
We believe that this test will better determine whether you are ready and physically able to do the job as a police officer.
The PREP consists of 2 physical ability assessments, a pursuit restraint circuit, and a 20-meter shuttle run. These are not tests of police procedure or defensive tactics. They are being used to determine the fitness level of police constable applicants.
There's a lot of different situations that you get into where you have to restrain somebody. Obviously, if you're arresting them, oftentimes when we're assisting medical personnel, your strength definitely comes into play.
The pursuit restraint circuit is meant to simulate a foot chase that includes the following: a fence and stair climb, the control of a person who resists arrest, the dragging of an incapacitated person. All of the activities are done in a continuous circuit. Each candidate wears a 9-pound belt around his or her waist to simulate the weight of a police belt plus standard equipment. The candidate in this test must complete 4 laps of a 25-meter circuit for a total of 100 meters in as little time as possible. During each 25-meter lap, a set of stairs is climbed, and during the 2nd and 4th laps, a solid 4-foot fence with no toe holds is scaled. This is the kind of fence that might be encountered in a backyard. Following this, the candidate runs over to a body control simulator and pushes a pair of handlebars to raise a 70-pound weight off the floor. This is the amount of force needed on average to control a person resisting arrest. Keeping the weight elevated, the candidate sidesteps through a 180-degree arc to the left and to the right for a total of 6 arcs. The candidate then moves to the arm restraint simulator and depresses the handles on the grips of both arms. A force of 32 pounds is required to depress each grip. With the grips continuously depressed, the arms are then forced together. A force of 37 pounds is required to retract each arm. On average, it takes this much force to restrain the arms of a suspect resisting arrest. The candidate then returns to the body control simulator and rotates through another 6 arcs, pulling the 70-pound weight. The participant then goes back to the arm restraint simulator and repeats the arm retraction and release. Finally, the candidate grasps a 150-pound dummy and drags it around a marker for a total of 15 meters. The pursuit restraint circuit is scored as the total time from the start of the 100-meter circuit to the end of the victim drag. A time of 175 seconds or less is the minimum requirement for successful completion of the pursuit restraint circuit. Following the completion of this test, candidates are permitted a minimum of 10 minutes rest before beginning the aerobic fitness test.
Your aerobic capacity has to be there, so that means your lungs and your heart have to be able to pump out the blood and the oxygen that's required for you to run, and I think without it, you wouldn't be very successful at the job.
2, 1.
In this test, the candidate runs back and forth over a 20-meter course in time with taped audio signals. The time permitted to cover the 20 meters initially requires a very slow jog.
Stage 4 1/2.
Then is made progressively faster until the candidate is no longer able to keep up. In each leg of the run, warning lines placed 2 meters from each of the 20-meter lines must be reached before the permitted time elapses. The candidate is cautioned when he or she misses a warning line. The test is terminated when 2 consecutive warning lines are missed. To successfully complete the aerobic fitness test, you must achieve at least stage 6.5 in the 20-meter shuttle run. In terms of aerobic fitness, this is the equivalent of running 1.5 miles in 11.5 minutes. To successfully complete the prep, you must pass both components. You must complete the pursuit restraint circuit in no more than 175 seconds and reach stage 6.5 in the shuttle run. It should be noted here that to graduate from the Ontario Police College, a superior rating is required. To receive a superior rating, you must complete the pursuit restraint circuit in no more than 156 seconds and achieve at least stage 7.5 in the shuttle run. To review this in greater detail, you can refer to the booklet that accompanies this video. Police have to be in good physical shape throughout their career. All candidates can and should prepare for the prep by following some simple training strategies. Before you begin to train, you must fill out a health questionnaire called the PAR-Q. The questions can be found in the prep booklet. If you do not pass this questionnaire, you should have a doctor perform a physical before you start training.
First off, the prep involves a certain element of fitness to begin with, and so an individual should be aware of that and take some time to address the 4 main areas of fitness, which are cardiovascular fitness, muscular strength, muscular endurance, and flexibility.
A good training plan is made up of 3 parts: frequency, intensity, and time. This is called the FIT principle. Frequency refers to the number of times you train per week. You should train between 3 and 5 times per week. Intensity is the level of physical exertion you achieve while doing aerobic exercise and is the heart rate measured in beats per minute. The best way to measure intensity is to interrupt your exercise and take your heart rate for 10 seconds. Multiply this number by 6. Here's how to determine the intensity level you should train at. First, subtract your age from 220. The result will give you your predicted maximum heart rate measured in beats per minute. To determine your training heart rate, multiply your predicted maximum heart rate by 0.8. For example, a 20-year-old would have a maximum heart rate of 200 beats per minute. The training heart rate would be 200 times 0.8, which equals 160 beats per minute, or 27 beats per 10 seconds.
With the shuttle run, you're looking at a cardiovascular test that will take you to near max. So I'm going to want to train near the 80% level when I do my training to try to parallel as best I can the type of intensity I'm going to go through as I do the shuttle run. For the pursuit restraint, because it's a shorter time frame test, it's more all out over a shorter time frame. The type of training you're going to parallel for it is more anaerobic in nature, keeping in mind that it involves jumping, it involves running up and down stairs. It's an all-out intense activity. So you're going to want to, within your program, include some type of training that's going to have you work in short bursts over short time frames to address that test, You're also going to want to include cardiovascular exercise of a longer duration to improve your cardiovascular fitness to apply to the shuttle run.
Time is the third component of the FIT principle. You should train with your heart rate continuously above this training intensity for at least 150 minutes per week. This could be accomplished by doing 3 workouts of 50 minutes duration or 5 workouts of 30 minutes duration. The choice of what type of exercise to do is yours.
Historically, people will tend to continue to work out at things they enjoy, and there really isn't any strong case to be made that one form of cardiovascular fitness is quote-unquote better than the other. So the key as you train for this test is to include cardiovascular exercises that you'll enjoy doing and you'll keep doing. If you like to run, run. If you like to swim, swim. If you like to cycle, if you like to cross-country ski, if you like to do aerobic classes, if you like to use cardiovascular exercise equipment, those types of things.
In addition to aerobic fitness, police officers also need good muscular strength and endurance, so a strength training program is also recommended. In strength training, intensity is measured in terms of resistance and the number of repetitions of a particular exercise. Here is how to determine your strength training zone. Get a spotter to help you. Measure the maximum weight you can lift completely one time for each exercise. This is your maximum for this exercise. Do this for each of the exercises you plan to do. To determine your target weight, multiply your maximum weight by 0.75. For example, if the maximum you can pull down is 50 kilograms, multiply that number by 0.75. The result you get is 37.5 kilograms. This is the weight you should be using as you start to train. To properly tax your muscles, you should do 3 sets of 8 to 12 repetitions at that weight. If you're unable to do 8 repetitions, reduce the weight. If you find that you can do 12 easily, increase the weight. Good weight training exercises for your legs are leg press, calf raises, and leg extensions. For your arms, shoulders, and back, you should do bench press, upright row, arm curls, and pull downs. It's important to understand and respect your training limits to prevent injury.
And because this test tends to address both cardiovascular fitness and anaerobic activity, you may want to find yourself alternating day to day between one to the other to make sure you cover off both components that are required in the test.
Candidates for the Ontario Police College can train specifically for the tests in the prep. For suggestions, consult the booklet or contact the OACP office at 1-800-513-9652 or 1-705-946-6389 outside of Ontario.
You want to train specifically with your exercise to the type of physical activity that the prep test demands of you. Having said that, you're going to want to include some hands-on running activity as a part of your regime, specifically for the training for this test. And if you look at the pursuit and restraint, there's stairs involved with the testing. So it's going to be prudent for the individual to start practicing running stairs.
Read the booklet for additional ideas on how to prepare for the prep. The prep is one of several requirements in the constable selection system. By being aware of the tests and how to prepare for them, you will be able to raise your fitness level and your chances of success.
Bottom line, our fitness is important because it helps us to execute our job.
It is going to be a part of your life, and it will always be a part of your life.
Everybody is capable of doing it. It's setting your mind to it and following through.
If you can stick with it, then I think you will eventually get out of it what it is that you're hoping to.
On behalf of the Ontario Association of Chiefs of Police, I wish you all the best in your preparation for the prep test.